Hi, Shawna Karrasch here with an Ask Shawna answer. We're on the road from Colorado. Okay, here we go. This question comes from Sam, and she says, hi, I've been working with a friend's pony whom she is having a lot of problems with. I'm very new to clicker, but enjoy every minute of it. Yay! The pony I have been working with has been really enjoying the target training and shows all signs that he's relaxed and at ease. One of the signs I've noticed, which is my horses don't do, is that his willy hangs out. I took this as a sign of relaxation, but my friend, who is a lot more experienced in clicker and behavior, says it's a sign of heightened arousal and a sign of stress when I told her. The pony looked very calm to me and seemed to enjoy and not be stressed at all. The confusion comes now after watching one of your demos with Mint doing a stretching exercise session, and he too had his willy hanging out. Can you tell me, please, if this is bad or a good thing to have the willy hanging out when clicker training? My friend has told me not to go any further with the pony until he stops displaying his willy. But to me, he looks relaxed, like your horse in the session. I'm very confused. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Okay, first I'm going to tell you, I do have a couple blog posts about this because about horses dropping, because I found that this is something that people were asking me about and nobody was talking about. And I didn't see it for a really long time, but you know, I started this 19 years ago and I was like in a little island somewhere. You know what I mean? It was just, there weren't a lot of us out there. Now we're having more numbers. You're seeing more things come up and addressing more things. So if you go to my blog, which is askshawna.com or shawnakarrasch.com or ontargettraining.com, you'll find there's a tab for the blog, and just use that little search bar and you can look up dropping. I don't know that I use the term willies, but dropping, you know, horses dropping during training. So I have addressed this a little bit, but you know, it is, and Mint, he doesn't typically drop. And so and I didn't even see it until I actually, no, maybe I did see it towards the end, but at the very beginning, I didn't even see it when I was working on the front until I saw the video. There you go, great. But it did, you know, happen. I don't know if he had to pee, I don't know what. It just, normally I don't see it very much with him, but it doesn't bother me if I do. But I did have one horse that came to me and he dropped all the time. I mean, it was just, he was kind of a, you know, he dropped all the time, and I would do demos for hundreds of people, and you're kind of, it was a little awkward, you know, you're like, I don't want that out, but the children are everywhere. And the biggest reason it was awkward for me is because he would lose his focus. So he would, instead of just kind of being, I'm relaxed, no big deal, he would kind of start, you know, getting a little glassy-eyed. So and that's how I would tell, because I couldn't tell. I mean, I couldn't see him. He kind of had a belly, and you couldn't really see him. You know, I have to look under there. But so he started getting glassy-eyed. I'd look and go, okay, I get it. So I started learning the signs very quickly. And all I did to help him with that, I just would trot. I would try, it's something I reinforced quite a bit. I had to train it that from a standstill doing nothing, if I trotted off, he would trot off. And that pretty much, they draw everything back up and in. So that takes care of the problem pretty quick. And then he stopped doing it as much because he's anticipating that we might trot here and there. So I just trot 10 feet away and stop and do something for a little bit, then trot again and do something else for a little bit. So that is one of the ways that it helped me to manage it. If it's not escalating or turning into anything, I wouldn't really worry, or you're not doing demos, I wouldn't really worry about it, because what I found is all the times I've seen it, it has pretty much been a sign of relaxation. Now, there have been a couple times that you could tell it was a little more, and it was getting a little more aroused, and it wasn't the relaxation. So I think the willy dropping can mean different things. So, and one of the things, and when I've talked to people about it, when I first was like, why isn't anybody talking about this? What can we do about this? A lot of people, behavior people that talk about true behavior in the, you know, what's going on in the chemically in the mind and all that kind of thing, have seem to think it is a reaction. It is a relaxation, a pleasure kind of relaxation. But the problem is it can also, there's something called superstitious behavior, and they can think that something they're doing is part of the criteria. So let's say he's learning something new. He's doing target training, and he's going, oh, I love this, and he starts dropping. Well, with the positive reinforcement training, they raise their own criteria. You know, everything they do, they'll do it a little bit better pretty much. You know, they think, oh, if target training is good, I'm going to, and so he could think, okay, I have to drop and touch the target. Superstitious, it's a behavior we weren't intending, but in his mind, he could think part of the criteria is I have to drop. And dropping could then kind of think, well, if dropping's good, more attention to that muscle is better, which could lead to more arousal and more of a heightened state. So it doesn't mean he is aroused now, but you have to watch because it could go in that direction. So what I find is using that trotting, just trotting off just here and there, it just stopped it. I didn't have to worry about it as much. It would happen a little bit here and there, but I knew it right away, and I just trot off to other places, and it really pretty much helped keep it in place. So anything with activity, they tend to draw themselves back up. But I wouldn't say that you need to stop doing the clicker training. I wouldn't say you should stop doing the positive reinforcement training. I just think you should pay attention to the criteria and establish what you like. If he is totally relaxed and staying totally relaxed and you don't care if the willie's out, it's no big deal. That's up to you to establish that criteria. But if he was relaxed, I wouldn't really worry about. Just look for all the things to be relaxed. It doesn't start a little nickering, doesn't start looking a little wide-eyed, doesn't start looking a little glassy-eyed, any of those things. So it's just a behavior that we can shift and change. We just got to think how we can do that to set them up for success. And I found by doing that activity, you're setting them up for success. Another thing you can do if you really felt like you wanted to stop it is as soon as he drops, if you can pay attention, if you can see it, put him home. Say, when you drop, we're not going to do it anymore, or walk away, or whatever it is. Okay, then I'll come back when you're not dropped. But I think it'll take a little bit for him to put it together because he might not know that. But anyway, but that's another way that you could do that. Another thing that I kind of noticed, and this is more anecdotal over the years when I've worked with horses, most of the time the horses I work with who drop regularly, I have found that they have had some abuse, hard training, or misunderstanding of their training in their which to them can seem like it's really harsh when it might not be, but they didn't get it, so it's just as confusing and stressful and traumatic for them. So I have found pretty much more times than not, the high majority of the time, the horses that drop are the horses who have had bad experiences. And that's just my own anecdotal thing. And I see it, my Mint and George Mint doesn't drop very regularly. That's not really a thing he does. But Hershey, who came to me, he had a background that he didn't, he wasn't as comfortable with, and so he came kind of with some troubles. And he would drop. So it fit right in line with there. I don't know if that's the case or not, but that's just one of the things I've noticed in my years. Anyway, so Sam, I hope this helps you out. If you have more questions, go look at those blog posts because I have more information in there. I think there's 2 of them, 2 scenarios. So use that search bar, search those topics, and you'll find some more about that. But let me know how it goes. Keep me posted. I'm always here to help you out along the way, but you can get that sorted out pretty quick. Anyway, so until next time, this is Shawna Karrasch, and enjoy getting your horse on target. Bye.